My boss thought he could exploit me, fire me illegally, and walk away without consequences. What he didn't know was that I had every single email, every message, and every shady detail he thought I'd never use. A year later, he wasn't laughing anymore. He was begging me to settle. And oh, I made him pay. If you've ever worked under a boss who thought they could treat you like garbage and get away with it, you'll love this story. Hit subscribe, like this video, and let me know in the comments if you've ever dreamed of giving karma a little push in the workplace. Let's dive in. A few years ago, I was 35, working as an SEO copywriter and social media manager for a well-known Italian company. When they hired me, they forced me to open a VAT number, basically pushing me into being a freelancer on paper. But here's the thing, I wasn't a freelancer. I worked 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, exclusively for them. Just like a full-time employee, except without the legal protections, the benefits, or the security. It was exploitation, plain and simple. I told them it wasn't fair. Their answer, "Don't worry, you'll make connections through us." Spoiler, I never did. Still, I did my job perfectly. Always on time, never missed a deadline. Clients sent praise, managers complimented me, and I built campaigns that actually made money. And you'd think that would be enough to keep me safe. But in that office, results didn't matter. Connections did. The mini boss's girlfriend and the big boss's mistress both worked there. And when I say worked, I mean they collected salaries while dumping their mistakes on everyone else, including me. They were incompetent, lazy, and arrogant. And I didn't hide my opinion, especially when I was the one cleaning up their messes. That honesty made me a target. After 7 months of hard work, it happened. Mini boss called me into his office. He looked smug, like he'd been waiting for this moment. "Your services are no longer required," he said. No warning, no written notice, which, by the way, was completely illegal. Just like that, I was out. I asked, "Can I at least speak with Big Boss?" "No," he said flatly. I smiled. Not because I wasn't hurt. I was furious, humiliated, and shaking inside, but because something in me snapped into focus. "This isn't over," I told him. He narrowed his eyes. "Are you threatening the company?" I leaned forward and said, "Threats are for people who aren't sure they'll win. This is a promise. It's just a matter of time." I walked out, my heart pounding, but my mind already racing. They thought they'd just erased me from their little empire. They had no idea I had every invoice, every email, every message, every little piece of evidence they'd so carelessly handed me. I found a lawyer, someone who specialized in labor law. When I told him the whole story, he almost laughed. "They've handed this case to you on a silver platter," he said. Step 1 was sending an official communication to the company, a formal notice of legal action. And this is where Big Boss revealed just how stupid he really was. Instead of ignoring it, or better yet, letting his lawyer handle it, he personally replied with a long, angry email, full of insults, full of personal attacks, a gift, because every word was more evidence. For a year, while the slow wheels of Italian bureaucracy turned, I prepared. I built a dossier, 200 pages of proof. Chats, emails, communications, invoices, photos. Every single shady thing they'd done, carefully documented. And then, just before Christmas, my lawyer filed it. While everyone else was unwrapping presents, the Big Boss's lawyer was unwrapping a legal nightmare. Less than a week later, their lawyer contacted me. Not to fight, not to deny, but to beg. He wanted me to name a settlement amount so they could avoid going to trial. I sat with my lawyer. We looked at each other, smiled, and named a 5-figure sum. Enough to sting. Enough to remind them that you don't just use people and throw them away. They didn't even argue. They accepted without a single complaint. On the day of the settlement hearing, I walked into that courtroom with my head held high. The judge reviewed the evidence, looked at me, and then turned to my ex-boss. Her words were unforgettable. "We're honestly tired of seeing your name in court. Your conduct is appalling." She congratulated me and my lawyer for how thoroughly we'd prepared. My ex-boss, the man who thought he was untouchable, sat there humiliated. He didn't look so powerful anymore. I walked out not just with justice, not just with money, but with vindication. He had underestimated me, and it cost him dearly. Some people think revenge is about anger. For me, it was about balance. They broke the rules, they exploited me, and they thought they could just toss me aside. All I did was hold up a mirror and let the law do the rest. Turns out, karma doesn't need to be fast to be satisfying. Sometimes, it's best served with a lawyer and a 200-page dossier. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma come full circle, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of justice served cold. And tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or imagined. I'd love to hear it.